Imagine standing in front of a long aisle filled with bread. There are dozens of options from soft and fluffy to hearty and grainy. But a single decision made in that moment about which loaf to pick could quietly add years to your life, or take them away. That's not an exaggeration. It's a fact backed by science. A 20-year study from Harvard Medical School found that people over 60 who chose the right kind of bread each day reduced their risk of heart disease by 43% and lived an average of 7.2 years longer. Here's the challenge. After 60, your body no longer processes bread the way it used to. Digestive enzymes slow down, your metabolism weakens, and blood sugar becomes harder to control. What used to feel harmless in your 40s could now silently damage your arteries, increase inflammation, and speed up aging from the inside out. In this video, we'll reveal the 4 kinds of bread you should eat every single day after 60, and the 4 types you must avoid completely. Where are you watching from today? Let us know your city or country in the comments. We read everyone. And if this kind of content helps you, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel so you never miss the health tips that matter most just for you. Now let's begin. 4 breads you should eat every day after 60. Choose right, live longer. 1. Sprouted grain bread, the gentle loaf that supports digestion and calms inflammation. Among all the breads you'll find in stores, there's one that often gets overlooked. It's stored in the freezer aisle, not with the others. But for those over 60, it may quietly be one of the best choices you can make each day. It's called sprouted grain bread. Unlike the fluffy loaves we're used to, this bread is made by soaking whole grains in water until they begin to sprout. Then they're ground and baked using a traditional method that transforms the grain and makes it easier for aging bodies to absorb. In a study from UCLA's Center for Human Nutrition researchers followed 500 adults over age 65 with common digestive complaints. After switching to sprouted grain bread for just 8 weeks, 73% experienced a clear improvement in bloating, gas, and stomach discomfort. Why does this happen? Because sprouting breaks down starches and proteins into simpler forms that your digestive system can process more gently. It also reduces phytic acid by up to 81%, a compound that blocks mineral absorption and irritates the gut lining. Sprouted grain bread also helps regulate blood sugar. Even though it contains the same amount of carbohydrates as regular whole wheat bread, it has a much lower glycemic index, just 36, compared to 51 for whole wheat and 75 for white bread. The nutrition profile reads like a multivitamin. Sprouting increases vitamin C by 600%, B vitamins by 300%, and creates natural anti-inflammatory compounds called benzoxazinoids. A study in Germany showed that adults over 60 who ate sprouted grain bread every day had a 42% increase in folate and a 38% boost in vitamin B12 absorption, which is especially important after 60, when deficiencies become more common and can lead to fatigue, nerve problems, or memory decline. Because it doesn't contain preservatives, you'll find this bread in the freezer section. Buy a few loaves at once and keep them frozen. Just take out a slice and toast it as needed. It has a denser, nuttier texture with visible whole grains. Try 1 slice in the morning with almond butter and sliced banana. This combination of fiber, protein, and healthy fats will keep you full and energized for hours. Trusted brands include Ezekiel 4-9 Silver Hills and Alvarado Street Bakery. It may cost $4 to $6 per loaf, but what you're really buying is a food that heals one bite at a time. If you've ever felt bloated or sluggish after eating regular bread, this might be the shift your body's been asking for. If you're open to trying sprouted grain bread, comment yes below to let us know. Now, let's move on to the next bread. It's an old-fashioned loaf with a deeply modern benefit, especially for your gut. 2. Sourdough bread, the traditional loaf that soothes digestion and balances blood sugar. Don't let its rustic appearance fool you. Sourdough bread made the old-fashioned way is one of the most supportive breads you can eat after 60. It's not just a nostalgic favorite from your childhood. It's a living, naturally fermented food that brings comfort to your gut and steadiness to your energy. Real sourdough is made from just 3 things: flour, water, and a natural starter. That starter contains wild yeast and beneficial bacteria. Over time, they break down gluten and phytic acid, making the bread gentler on your digestive system. In a 2022 study published in Food Microbiology, older adults who switched from regular bread to real sourdough reported a 26% improvement in gut comfort. They felt less bloated, more regular, and more at ease after meals. The fermentation process also produces prebiotics compounds that feed the good bacteria in your gut. That's especially important after 60, when your microbiome plays a bigger role in immune strength and mood stability. But it's not just about digestion. Sourdough helps control blood sugar too. A study from the University of Toronto showed that older adults who had sourdough for breakfast saw their blood sugar rise only 45%, as much as those who ate regular bread. That's a big deal if you're managing prediabetes or type 2 diabetes, which affects nearly 1 in 3 people over 60. Sourdough also preserves more B vitamins and minerals, like magnesium, which are essential for your muscles, nerves, and mental clarity. To get these benefits, make sure you're buying true sourdough. Look for loaves made with whole grains and a natural starter, not commercial yeast or artificial sourdough flavoring. The crust should be dark and crackly, the inside soft, open, and just a little tangy. You can toast it in the morning with avocado and a poached egg, or pair it with soup or salad for lunch. Just 2 slices a day is enough to give your gut and your energy the support they need. If you're used to soft supermarket breads, this one might feel different at first. But give it time. Your taste buds and your body will adjust, and likely thank you. If you've already tried real sourdough, try to let others know how it felt for you. Next, we'll explore a hearty bread from Northern Europe that's not only rich in tradition, but in heart-protective fiber too. 3. Rye bread, the Northern classic that helps lower cholesterol and steady blood sugar. When it comes to bread that protects your heart and helps you manage your energy, few options are as powerful or as overlooked as rye bread. It's been a staple in Northern Europe for generations, and now it's earning new respect among older adults in the U.S. What makes rye bread special is its fiber, especially a type called arabinoxylan. This compound helps trap LDL cholesterol in your gut, so it gets removed from your body instead of absorbed into your bloodstream. In a clinical study from Finland published in the Journal of Nutrition Adults over 65, who ate just 2 slices of whole-grain rye bread a day, saw a 16% drop in LDL cholesterol after only 3 months. They also felt more full and energized throughout the day. Rye bread digests slowly. Unlike white wheat bread, which causes blood sugar to spike and crash, rye gives you a slow, steady release of energy, reducing the risk of type 2 CQ2 diabetes and its complications like nerve pain, vision issues, and kidney strain. That same Finnish study found that those who ate rye bread had 22% lower fasting insulin levels. That's a key marker of better metabolic health. And as insulin levels drop, so does the risk of inflammation and belly fat accumulation. Two common challenges as we age. When shopping for rye bread, read the label carefully. Look for whole rye flour or whole grain rye as the first ingredient. Avoid pale, fluffy rye breads made mostly of wheat flour and caramel coloring. They don't have the same benefits. Real rye bread is darker, denser, and often has a slightly tangy taste. It's perfect for sandwiches with smoked salmon or turkey. It makes excellent toast and pairs beautifully with strong cheeses or hearty soups. Many older adults find that rye bread helps with regularity too. Constipation is a common issue after 60, and rye's natural fiber helps keep things moving gently and naturally. If you've been struggling with cholesterol energy crashes or digestion, rye bread might be your next best step. If this sounds like something you're willing to try, comment rye below, and let's see how many others are on the same path. Up next, we arrive at the most powerful bread on our list, the one packed with whole grains and seeds that could add years to your life, one slice at a time. 4. 100% whole grain seeded bread. The nutrient-rich loaf that could add years to your life. If you had to choose just one bread to eat every day after 60, this would be it. True, 100% whole grain seeded bread, made with a variety of seeds like pumpkin sunflower, chia, and sesame, is the gold standard of healthy breads for older adults. It's not just healthy, it's life-extending. A landmark study from the Copenhagen Heart Research Center followed 18,000 adults over age 60 for 15 years. Those who ate this bread daily had a 47% lower risk of death from any cause, compared to those who regularly ate white bread. They lived an average of 4.7 years longer, with higher scores in quality of life. Why? Because this bread is a synergy of powerful ingredients. Whole grains bring fiber, B vitamins, and antioxidants. Seeds add protein, healthy fats, and trace minerals that support heart health, brain function, and immune strength. Together, they work to reduce inflammation, protect your DNA from damage, and fuel your cells with long-lasting energy. The fiber acts like a broom for your digestive system, clearing toxins, feeding good gut bacteria, and helping stabilize blood sugar. The bran and germ in whole grains provide vitamin B6 for your brain, magnesium for your muscles, and selenium essential for a strong immune system as you age. Antioxidants like lignans and ferulic acid help protect your joints' memory and even reduce the risk of certain cancers. Best of all, this bread digests slowly, so you feel full longer and avoid the crashes that come with white or sugary breads. To get the full benefit, check the label. It must say 100% whole grain or 100% whole wheat. Be cautious of breads labeled just wheat or multigrain. Those often contain refined flour hidden behind healthy-sounding names. The first ingredient should be whole grain flour, not enriched wheat flour, not starch, not filler. You can toast this bread for a hearty breakfast, tear it into a salad, or use it to make French toast or a healthier bread pudding. For even more benefit, pair it with protein and healthy fat, like eggs, nut butter, or avocado. That combination slows digestion and keeps you satisfied longer. And if you're feeling adventurous, try loaves made with grains like barley millet or spelt for even more nutritional variety. If you're looking for one small change, that supports your heart, brain, and bones all at once. This is it. If you already eat whole grain seeded bread, comment grains below and inspire someone else to give it a try. Now that we've seen the best, it's time to flip the script and look at the breads that could be silently harming your health after 60. 4 breads to avoid. After 60, they may look harmless, but they're quietly stealing your health. 1. White bread, the silent saboteur of energy, memory, and metabolic health. Most of us grew up with white bread. Soft, familiar, easy to eat. But after 60, that same bread becomes one of the most damaging foods to eat every day. Here's why. White bread is made from refined wheat flour. That means the bran and germ, the most nutritious parts, are stripped away, leaving behind mostly starch. As a result, white bread digests very quickly. This causes a sharp spike in blood sugar, followed by a crash that leaves you tired, hungry, and craving more. In a 2022 study published in Diabetes Care, seniors who ate white bread daily had a 46% higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes and a 33% greater risk of rapid memory decline over just 5 years. But the problems go deeper. White bread contains almost no fiber. That makes it hard on your gut, often leading to constipation or irregular digestion. It also fails to feed the healthy gut bacteria that support your immune system and help reduce inflammation. Most white breads are made with enriched flour, meaning synthetic vitamins are sprayed back in after processing, but they can't replace the dozens of natural nutrients found in whole grains. Eating white bread regularly is also linked to weight gain around the waist, which increases your risk of stroke and heart failure in older adults. If you enjoy the taste or texture of white bread, you don't have to give it up completely. Just treat it as an occasional treat, not a daily habit. You can also find softer whole grain or sourdough options that offer better nutrition without losing the comfort of texture. And when you do have white bread, balance it with high-fiber protein-rich toppings, like tuna hummus or eggs, to slow the blood sugar spike. If you eat white bread regularly and often feel tired, foggy, or hungry again soon after, it may be time for a change. If you're thinking of cutting back, comment "Stop" below, and take the first small step toward a stronger, steadier you. Next, we'll look at a kind of bread that's sweet, soft, and deeply comforting, but one of the worst offenders for your heart, joints, and brain. 2. Sweetbreads and pastries, the sugary comforts that quietly fuel inflammation and fatigue. Who doesn't love a sweet roll, a cinnamon bun, or a soft pastry with morning coffee? They bring back warm memories. But after 60, these treats become something else entirely. A serious risk to your heart, joints, and overall energy. Sweetbreads and pastries are usually made with refined flour, sugar, and cheap oils. This combination causes your blood sugar to spike quickly, followed by a crash that leaves you tired, irritable, and craving more. According to a 2023 review in The Lancet, older adults who ate sugary breads or pastries 4 times a week or more had a 44% higher risk of developing metabolic syndrome. That includes high blood pressure, elevated blood sugar, and abnormal cholesterol, all of which raise your risk for heart attack and stroke. But the damage doesn't stop there. Sugary breads are also linked to faster skin aging, increased joint pain, and higher rates of anxiety and depression in seniors. Here's why. Sugar spikes insulin, which triggers inflammation throughout the body. That inflammation makes arthritis worse, slows healing, and speeds up the loss of muscle mass. And as we age, our bodies become less able to handle large amounts of sugar. That means the damage builds with every bite. If you enjoy sweet flavors, try making healthier versions at home. Use mashed banana applesauce or a touch of honey instead of refined sugar. And choose whole grain flour instead of white. Limit store-bought pastries and sweetbreads to special occasions, not everyday fare. When you do eat something sweet, pair it with protein or a handful of nuts. That helps slow the sugar absorption and reduce the inflammatory effect. And when cravings hit pause and ask yourself, is your body really asking for sugar, or is it needing more fiber, protein, or rest? If you've ever felt joint pain, stiffness, or fatigue after a sugary breakfast, your body might be telling you something. If this sounds familiar, comment sugar below to share your experience and help others recognize the signs. Next, let's talk about a bread that sounds innocent, but hides a starchy surprise that's tough on aging bodies. 3. Potato bread, the soft loaf, that spikes your blood sugar and drains your energy. Potato bread sounds gentle. It feels familiar, maybe even a little healthier thanks to the word potato. But for older adults, this bread can quietly disrupt your metabolism in ways you might not expect. While whole potatoes can be part of a balanced diet, potato bread is a different story. Most store-bought versions are made with white flour, added sugar, potato flakes, or starch, and sometimes oil or butter to enhance softness. That makes it digest very quickly, raising your blood sugar higher and faster than almost any other type of bread. In a 2021 study published in the Journal of Geriatric Cardiology, people over 60 who ate potato bread 3 times a week or more had a 37% higher risk of developing insulin resistance. That's a key early step toward type 2 diabetes. And it doesn't stop at starch. Many commercial potato breads contain 2 or 3 teaspoons of sugar per slice, added to improve taste and texture. That hidden sugar causes spikes in insulin, which leads to inflammation and low energy, especially in seniors. The cycle becomes hard to break. You feel hungry again soon after, tired in the afternoon, and less motivated to move or stay active. Potato bread is also low in magnesium and potassium, 2 minerals your heart and muscles need to function well as you age. If you enjoy the soft texture, consider baking your own version. Use real mashed potatoes and whole wheat flour. That way you get more fiber, more nutrients, and fewer blood sugar swings. Or swap it out for dense, slow-digesting options like rye or whole grain seeded bread. They offer the comfort you're used to without the crash that follows. Pay attention to how your body feels after you eat. If you notice bloating, fatigue, or cravings an hour later, your body might be asking for something more stable. If you felt this way after eating potato bread, comment potato to let us know you've noticed the difference. Now, let's turn to one of the most misunderstood choices in the bakery aisle, a bread often marketed as healthy, but one that may be the worst option of all after 60. 4. Gluten-free white bread, the most misleading bread on the shelf. It looks healthy. It says gluten-free right on the label. But if you're over 60, this type of bread might quietly be the worst one for your blood sugar, your energy, and your digestion. Most gluten-free white breads are made with refined starches, like white rice flour, potato starch, tapioca, or cornstarch. They often contain gums or emulsifiers to mimic the texture of real bread. But don't be fooled. These ingredients digest incredibly fast. They cause rapid spikes in blood sugar, followed by crashes in energy, and leave you feeling hungry and drained. In a 2022 study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, Older adults who ate gluten-free white bread daily for 6 months had a 54% higher blood sugar spike and a 21% increase in LDL cholesterol compared to those who ate traditional whole wheat bread. That's a major red flag for heart health and diabetes risk. But the problems don't stop there. These breads are often stripped of fiber, protein, and minerals. Without those nutrients, you're more likely to struggle with fatigue, joint pain, constipation, and weaker immune function. In the same study, participants who ate gluten-free white bread reported more stiffness, poorer sleep, and increased anxiety all within a few weeks. If you need to avoid gluten for medical reasons, there are better options. Look for gluten-free breads made with whole grains, like brown rice, quinoa, buckwheat, or millet. They digest more slowly, offer more fiber and protein, and help you feel full and balanced. Always read the ingredients. If the first few items are starches or flours you don't recognize, it's probably best to leave it on the shelf. And if you're not gluten sensitive, don't assume gluten-free means healthier. It often means the opposite. If you've been eating gluten-free white bread without realizing the downside, comment label to remind others. What matters most isn't the front of the package. It's what's listed on the back. You've now learned about the 4 best and 4 worst breads after 60. So let's take a moment to reflect and consider what's going to sit on your plate tomorrow morning. Conclusion: one loaf won't change the world, but it can change your health. Most of us eat bread every day without giving it much thought. It's familiar, it's comforting, and it's easy. But after 60, the kind of bread you choose can make a lasting impact on your energy, your memory, your digestion, and even how long you live. We've seen how the right breads can support your body, ease inflammation, and protect your heart. Sprouted grain bread makes digestion easier and boosts B vitamin absorption. Real sourdough helps soothe your gut and stabilize blood sugar. Rye bread lowers cholesterol and supports steady energy. And 100% whole grain seeded bread offers a complete nutritional package that may even extend your life. We've also seen how the wrong breads can work against you quietly. White bread, sweet pastries, potato bread, and gluten-free white loaves may look harmless, but they can raise your blood sugar, drain your energy, disrupt your gut health, and speed up aging. This isn't about giving up the foods you love. It's about making informed choices, starting small, one loaf at a time, and building habits that nourish your body every day. If you've made it this far, take a moment to check in with yourself. What kind of bread are you eating most often, and which one are you curious to try next? Leave a comment below. Your story might help someone else find their way to better health. And if you found this video helpful, please tap the subscribe button and turn on notifications. Here we share simple science-backed tips to help you stay strong, sharp, and independent in every season of life. Because caring for your health doesn't begin in the doctor's office, it begins with the loaf you choose at breakfast. And that one choice can carry you farther than you ever imagined.